looking at the skins, and I was like, it's skins versus no skins. So are we going to be boosted?
I was actually hoping to see the new Rider Sky. Was that?
Oh, Ride or Die Sky, perhaps.
Yes, Ride or Die Sky. I was hoping to see it. Though. Yeah, I mean, I think it's available in the server already. I was actually hoping to see it. Like, I really like.
I was hoping to get it.
Okay.
Like maybe 15 or 20 boxes, and Milski apparently only opened 2, and she got it. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
She's just gonna have just a bit of hate if there's a Sky in the match while we're casting together. No, all love to her, and it is really a good skin by SNC there. But with that, we're back on the fold once again, and it's Infamous going for that mid camp again, but they are going to get caught out by Elite 8 this time. Whether the mid camp's actually going to go over to them, not sure yet. Is it? You can see SNK and Uni respecting that, knowing that they really have to be careful around this Koshka, and especially Lance if you get locked down into the early game. But Sky coming back with the 4 barrage, trying to steal that one, doesn't quite get it, and is just going to go back to base instead. And you know, meanwhile Spaghetti just up in lane, farming away a bit, slightly ahead of Vox now at 8 farm to 4, but not by too much, as it's going to be the rest of Elite 8 up in this lane trying to force Baron away from this farm.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Elite 8 doing like how they were doing yesterday, just being really objective based, and for every kill they get, they actually try to push an objective like we saw yesterday. And also oh god, my throat. And also there's one thing about Vox that's going for Vox that, you know, Baron do not have, is that Vox actually reached his power spike earlier than that of Baron, because Baron is so items heavy, whereas for Vox you can just have one poison shift and then you are rather good to go. You can actually dish out enough damage. So so there you go. So that's one thing that's going for the side of E8. So I may understand the thought process that went in, because Vox reaches his peak, yeah, one of his power spikes when Koshka starts to pass her peak. So, you know, they can just make up for each other's weaknesses, and Koshka in late game can probably build a little tanky and then just be the frontliner together with that of Anime Save Me, and then just tank up the front while Fox just dish out damage from the back. So I do actually understand, but then whether or not they can leaf through the damage coming out from Spaghetti on Baron is another topic altogether.
Well, it is interesting, as we talked earlier in the previous, well, not the technically previous match, but you know, before the crash happened, that we were saying whether it's going to be that lane or jungle focus game, and you can see that while Sky was up in the jungle, and they actually just backed them right before mid Triant came up, Koshka has been doing this all along, just going along and able to pick up that mid, and it's just gonna help get her early game that much stronger, and it's going to be that much more dangerous for Sky and I guess Spaghetti to deal with. Basically, Infamous going to have to watch out for that Koshka, as well as and it comes down to the thing of whether Anime Save Me can land those impales to really lock down the targets for Koshka to get on top of, I think. But yeah, it is definitely, we were talking about whether they're going to be focused in the lane or jungle, and they've chosen a bit more of a lane approach, which, you know, I think just reflects over the past few patches as the game to transition into this game where Roma always stays up with lane. So, you know, whether or not their draft being what it is, I think it's just always going to be a bit more of that lane game. But I would have liked to see a bit more attention from Infamous into the jungle to maybe try, not shut down the Koshka, but at least slow her down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Koshka, once Koshka reaches a certain timing in the game, she kind of loses out on her abilities, or rather her power, her strengths, and that is what that, you know, would be a concern and should be a concern for the side of the Elite 8, because, you know, if Koshka cannot take out an enemy, or rather put an enemy down really, really low, then, you know, both Anime Save Me and Han Diego would have a hard time, because on the side of Infamous, we have two really mobile heroes, and then not denying the fact that, you know,
Well, Sky's gonna get rooted up by Anime Save Me here, but it's gonna be the Mortar, Porcupine Mortar is going into the brush there to stop Hanyega's and Official Hind going in for the engage, but it doesn't look like Official Hind's done. They're gonna dive under the turret, do a bit of damage there, but I think they should back out at this point because Infamous, all grouped up now, might be looking to fight as it's going to be Official Hind going in with the Catnip Frenzy, but gets stunned up by the death from above. It's going to be a trade-out kill Arden for Koshka, and Hanyega's is going to be on the run now. Meanwhile, Baron's still up in this lane dealing with Lance, but Lance able to make it out there, and whether Hanyega's will, as Uni's looking for something, kind of following by, they're gonna find Fox, but whether they'll be able to get the kill, they are spotted out by the scout trap, and they're not able to steal the health minion, so they're just gonna back off from that one. Meanwhile, Baron maybe needs to back out this as he's getting low on energy there, so a bit of a trade out kill there, and it's definitely a good tip whenever Koshka uses the Catnip Frenzy, you want to be there if you're playing Sky with the death from above, and whether it's on yourself, then you have to predict it just a bit earlier, but if it's on a teammate, definitely use that to help your team get out of that situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking at play just now, I'd like to say something though. We saw Baron just sitting back and then relaxing, and then the playoffs started when Lance actually missed his impale, and that posed a problem, and we all quite see, because you know their team would count on a lockdown coming up from the side of Koshka.
Well, there's Koshka going in again. Death from above catches her out, and it's going to be the kill going over to Sky with the 4 barrage. She has the target lock on Hanyega's, but Anime Save Me there is going to be around with the peel, the Giffian wall. It's going to be Vox who's going to just Sonic Dash out that one, be able to get enough space in between the two. But Infamous now putting a bit more pressure on this turret, especially Hanyega's, who's now a bit low on energy, gets caught out in a few of those Porcupine Moors. Not too many minions to push up there with, but definitely Infamous maybe looking a bit more aggressive in this early game. However, maybe it's wrong to say that. Both teams are playing aggressive here. Elite 8 in the terms of maybe just needing to not dive under turret so much for those kills, as is a bit of a dangerous place to play around with. But you can see respectively in the gold, it's actually Elite 8 at 15.9k over to the 15k of Infamous. So they're 1k gold ahead, and at this point it isn't much, but you can see how that's slowly, gradually going to increase if they're left so to do. That's 8 please.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking at it, Anime Save Me on this Lance would be the key player of. It will be the key player that's going to pull and decide whether or not their fights will come out on the top, or they're just going to lose that fight. I mean, if you're going to count or rely on Koshka's Catnip Frenzy.
Yeah, Koshka's okay.
Yeah. If they're going to rely on Koshka's Catnip Frenzy,
Baron fight. I'm sorry.
If you are going to rely on Koshka's Catnip Frenzy, then, you know, it's just a single target lockdown, whereas Baron can have the potential to lock down all 3, and Hanyega's is getting really, really low right now. Okay,
no one's gonna die. No one's
gonna die. No one's gonna die.
Okay, maybe they will as the wait for it goes out and the impale, and they get stunned up. Koshka going in with the Catnip Frenzy, but it's gonna be SNK with the gauntlet to keep them out there and keep Spaghetti just alive. I was sure that Elite 8 would take 2 kills from that, but you see some good defensive play here on the side of Infamous, but can they keep the turret? The shield has regenerated back up. Anime Save Me not able to quite tank up all of that, but Elite 8 moving quickly, very quickly, as they went in there with the wait for it and just followed up with that instantly, picking up that Sky. And I mean, it's somewhat similar, the Sky to Koshka gameplay, except Koshka's going to be a bit more tankier as she jumps in. For Sky, she's going a bit more glass cannon there. We've got the Frostburn, and looks like probably going to build into, I would say, a Broken Myth second just from experience, but we'll have to see here. But meanwhile, you've got Koshka, obviously, with that Shad Glass, and you talked about Koshka going Aftershock or Shad Glass. Like, how do you feel about this Shatter Glass pickup over the Aftershock? And once, as Anime Save Me is going to probably get out there live. You can talk.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope.
I hope as well. I mean, both of these teams are playing really, really aggressive, and then it's kind of even. for both of these teams. But then there's one thing that we see that differentiates these teams.
No, Uni, what have you done? They get caught in, but wait for it. In there, Pale, it's going to be Koshka jumping in there, but Vanguard's going to save him. Uni going solo, Hanyega's very low. Spaghetti, no one's focusing him. He's just there putting shots out. Ion Cannon's not going to hit. And you were right in saying that these teams both just being so aggressive as Spaghetti jumps in with the rocket jump, with the jump jets and gets the double auto attack off onto Koshka, just leading her out there. Anime Save Me looking for the kill onto Uni. Uni gonna just try to steal this one away. Anime Save Me gonna roll over but will not be able to steal it. They might be able to turn around onto him if he doesn't get out there, but Anime Save Me going to rotate up to this lane instead. And meanwhile, Spaghetti, no one's focused him, but his turret has definitely been the focus of a lot of damage. And he's done a fairly good job to keep it safe that way, because we have seen Elite 8's aggression really focused in this lane.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing this, and like I said earlier on, Anime Save Me needs to land a really good impale, you know, for their team fight to come to work out per se. But then there's one thing that differentiates both of these teams, and that would be the objective control from both of these teams. I mean, just looking at Elite 8 alone, every time they take out an opponent, someone from the opposing team, they would try to deal as much damage to the turret as possible. Whereas for on the side of Infamous, they get a kill, but then they are rather unsure, and then they back off afterwards because they are equally low. So, you know, there it goes. I mean, so I have to say that Elite 8 is coming out on top for all of these fights, but then again, I can't be too sure who fight is coming out.
This turret in, then it will be the case. You see Ion Cannon gonna drop down in a defensive manner there to just kind of preemptively stop a Koshka jumping in, and Box actually going kind of low on that one. And you're correct in saying that Elite 8 maybe being a bit more objective about this game, being able to go for kills afterwards. But you see this Arden there and the power of it, being able to go in with the Vanguard and protect Spaghetti even after getting impaled. And it works out in both situations, but when you end up in possibly a 3v3 situation where the Koshka's there as well, it's going to be a bit more trouble. Hanyega's backing off from that one, low on energy, using the reflex block as well to negate some damage. But Official Heinz lurking in the bush. Spaghetti manages to get back just far enough, but this Koshka really hungry for blood right now.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how hungry you are, we saw the amount of damage that's coming out from Spaghetti. I mean, Spaghetti is sitting on the classic build, yeah? We have Sorrow Blade going to Tension Bow and then a Tyrant's Monocle, possibly, and we know that power spike comes generally from the Tension Bow itself. And we saw the damage. Hanyega's just cannot keep out the damage. Not anything that's coming out from Spaghetti at least. So, you know, honestly, Anime Save Me for the future fights. I really hope that Anime Save Me can be in the forefront, whereas just Official Heinz just be at the back, just waiting for a chance to pounce instead of trying to initiate with Catnip and Frenzy.
Well, it's going to be Official Heinz going in under turret and the Impale just a bit early, not going to catch out SMK, and Hanyega's actually taking a lot of damage. They managed to get the turret for that one, but Uni now being targeted by Official Heinz there, and I think that's a good push by Elite 8 in the sense they're able to get the turret. A bit dangerous because Gauntlet did come down, but they managed to get out that one safely. But it's now Infamous in the 3v2 situation. They are looking for revenge here, want that turret back of the enemy there. Official Heinz going solo, and Sky just taking them out within a second, and it's going to be Anime Save Me next to go if he sticks around here. But Infamous maybe looking for more objectives this time as they go into the enemy jungle and might rotate around to this gold mine. There's really been no focus as of yet into the gold mine. It's just been sitting there full for quite a while. I mean, both teams have really put their focus into this lane, and knowing that I think it is quite an important part of the teams there. It allowed Spaghetti to farm up to this point safely, as well as Hanyega's, both doing an excellent job. Hanyega's actually sitting at 146 farm, going perfect CS at the moment, with Spaghetti just a bit behind, but 135. So both laners playing this one very strong, but it really comes down to the team fights, I'd say, between these two teams, just because they're both playing it so well.
Yeah, but then you know, the team comp coming out from the side of Infamous is just a one-up on top of what we can see or what we are seeing from the side of Elite 8. And the only reason I say that is because of the mobility that both Baron, especially Weapon Baron, and Sky has over that of Vox, Lance, or even Koshka. I mean, it's kind of sad to say this, but you know, Anime Save Me just have to step up and probably not be too forward.
Maybe a bit preemptive with that use of the wait for it, but they're going to go in with it anyway. Koshka not quite going to get caught out by the gauntlet, but goes very low. Target lock still on, and Cannon going to drop in with the Surge Strike. It's going to be Sky picking up the kill. They're going to turn their attention to Hunjager, stuck in the 1v3 situation. Can he get a kill out this one? I don't think so. It's going to be Uni picking up the double kill on Sky. Meanwhile, Lance just going to back out that one. Doesn't want to hand over the ace at this point. It would definitely spell doom for them, as they would get a turret and a Kraken. But at this rate, I think they might just be able to get the Kraken, unless Anime Save Me going to go for the contest there. It does get pushed away by Sky at the moment, but Sky is still fairly low on energy, has to kind of conserve that at the moment. It's going to go for the 4 barrage, just keeping it off, leaving it to the rest of the team, but it opens up to Koshka maybe getting end time. Maybe quite, maybe not if Uni's going to help with this one. Oh, Koshka on the way, and Anime Save Me goes in with him. Hale, but doesn't get the kill. He does get the stun with the Giffian wall, and it's going to get Koshka's ultimate going to get blocked out there by Uni, and we're going to be able to turn that one around. This fight's just going both ways. There's the Fountain of Renewal used on the side of Elite A, and they're going to turn their attention to this Kraken now. A fight that could have almost just gone to the side of Elite 8 there as they jumped in. Great work by the Lance using the Giffian wall to stun them up with Koshka. Just being there at the right time, but not quite enough damage, and I think this is what you were talking about when you said maybe Koshka into the more late game when their enemies have a bit more defense, falls off slightly.
Yeah, just slightly, but then you have to like, account for the damage that's coming out from the Baron as well. I mean, 2 Porcupine Mortars, and you know, Hanjager gets taken to half health. So there you go, and the poke that's coming out from the side of Infamous is just insane, and their mobility, we saw how Sky can just dive in and take up Lance. So yeah, I'm not sure.
They're going for more. They jump onto the Koshka, but they're getting low. Renewals used. It's not soon enough, though. Sky is going to die for getting a bit too greedy there, but they're going to take the turret. Kraken goes down to that one. Hunjager is going to be following up there in SNK, turning around with the Atlas, but Hunjager is actually going to turn away from that one, and you see Spaghetti just continuing to jump through the jungle and get out there with ease. I think you talked about this earlier, the mobility that Infamous has is just, it really puts them on a step ahead of the draft from Elite 8 here. And you see it there, even when they dived in onto Koshka. Sky died, but they still had that potential to do so.
Definitely, I mean, had Mortar would not come out from Poison Shift, I think Sky would have survived, but then, you know, that never happened, so I would never know. But Sky was taken down really, really low, but we saw how Sky can just dive in really, really deep and just target on a specific target, and then
they are going to be focusing down Arden, which might be a good choice if they can pick up the kill straight away. It's going to force them to use the Fountain. Baron going to get out of that one, and it's going to be Uni getting stunned up by Official behind him. They're all going to jump on Sky, picking up a kill there. I was thinking maybe if they get this Arden out of the way, then it does stop the peel coming out from the side of Infamous, but they are able to pick up the Sky instead, which is just as good for them at this point, because it leaves Hunjager's with a little window of opportunity to take down the second turret. And Elite 8 pushing back, showing that they're not out of this game yet. And, you know, they aren't in any way. If you look at maybe kills, you see that Elite 8 seeing on 4, and then Infamous seeing on A, as well as that last Kraken push they're able to succeed in. But when you look at gold and items, you know, we've got these teams at 39.3k on the side of Elite 8 over to 39.5 on the side of Infamous, basically the same here. And it really comes down to, you know, I'd say mostly the draft is in favor of Infamous, but it shows that Elite 8 can use their team comp if they're able to split Infamous away from each other and just single target. I think they can really turn this one around here.
I think you're being biased by saying, okay, but no, you're not being biased. I'm being really objective right now, and then I have to agree with you that Infamous has got definitely the better team comp, but then what helped the side of Elite 8 got one up against Infamous was because they managed to pick out certain players. So, you know, in every team fight, we saw that as long as Official Hein jumps in, Official Hein gets taken down, and then the next target would be Han Jaeger. So, you know, we see Infamous being really objective-based with their killings, with who to take down. And so I think that the win condition for the side of E8 would be the win condition for the side of E8 would be actually catching someone out. But then this late in the game, and then especially when both of these teams are just professional playing teams, I don't think they would actually separate and then repeat the same mistakes again.
Well, you see at the moment, it's Elite 8 know that Infamous wants to go for this Kraken. Koshka doing a good job actually up in the lane, but she is going to get caught out. SNK with the gauntlet the wrong way. They could have had a chance to really jump onto Elite 8, but he had to gauntlet again because of Echo, but it's going to be dangerous for Infamous. They back out that one, but Baron with the damage at the moment, able to really put down onto the enemy there, and Sky going to follow up onto Official Hein. Actually going to give a kill over to Baron, and they're going to take a double kill out of that. That could have turned around so badly for Infamous when Arden missing that first goal. But Arden actually with the Echo, and I was surprised as well to see that, the Echo coming out, and I think that maybe Elite 8 might be surprised by that. They saw the gauntlet go down, and they're like, okay, this is our go, but we go in now, and you saw them rush in, but then SNK turning around with another amazing gauntlet, and then just the damage that's coming out between Spaghetti and Uni at the moment is so crazy into this late game, and it shows that Infamous's team comp at the moment really working out for them.
You know, honestly, when I saw Arden picking up that Echo, I was like looking at it. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna throw it out.
I don't think.
No. I'm not saying that it's gonna be a bad pickup, but I was like thinking, I don't think he's gonna throw it on to Gauntlet. Yeah, and like you know the Venn diagram kind of Gauntlet. I didn't think that would happen.
What if SNK did that first Gauntlet on purpose to bait them in?
What if
it wasn't a misclick?
That
what if SNK is just that? I don't know. Maybe he is that good. These guys are pro players. We don't think like that. We think, okay, we're gonna protect ourselves. Let's play properly. But that's something interesting to look at. As Infamous going in for the next push. We've got the Echo isn't up, but Fountain's up for both teams at the moment. So they'll be looking for the turrets here for Infamous, and they're able to get the first one. Kraken's still fairly healthy. It's gotta be Elite 8 to initiate the fight, and they go in and Pale misses an Official Hein going low. Definitely up use defensively, great use of it there, but it's now going to be Vox jumping in too deep into the gauntlet on his own and leaving Official Hein to try and finish off the rest. But you just see Infamous storming through this match right now and doing so much damage. Lance forced back into the base. Kraken meanwhile doing the work to the Crystal. That's going to be GG, well played to both the teams there. Infamous taking the first match of the day, and was the spectacular matchup, wouldn't you agree? Because these teams both played so evenly for most of this match.
Definitely. I mean, I had thought Elite 8 got the first,
especially with that Lyra for sustain, and just for general sustain Zaka has in his own kit. It's definitely going to be quite tough to deal with, and I think Idris, in a sense, once you get that ultimate, you have that second chance to kind of be invulnerable for a second, and can get out of some dangerous situations.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said earlier on, Han Jaeger has to fully make use and seize the opportunity that the Dojo has got in the earlier game, because of just how his damage falls out so badly and so much in the late game, and because even in the late game, if you're going to go Crystal, you're not going to be providing any much more sustain because of how your heals actually scales with health. So I'm not sure. Like you said, I'm iffy with the Dojo that's coming out, the Dojo pickup coming out from the side of Elite 8, but you know, I just want to see how they play, honestly, because even then we have Uni can actually kiten over Dojo's first judgment, so he'll not be stunned at all. And then we have Lyra, we have Idris can be invulnerable and not be affected by first judgment with his ulti, and then we have Lyra, who can just escape first judgment. So, you know, like the team comp coming up from the side of Infamous is just mobile, quote unquote, barring Lyra. When Lyra attacks, she's not exactly very mobile, but then with Imperial Sigil constantly up in the latest part of the game, she's gonna have a lot of speed boost up, because we cannot forget, besides the healing from Hero Sigil, the speed boost is a thing.
Yeah. Well, I think on the side of Elite 8, we can't just look at Adagio as a single hero. We really have to look at it overall as a team, because Elite 8 still drafted that one well to end up with the Lance and the Glaive. They're going to have some good CC potential. Right now, looks like is Official Hein going to be able to steal this one from Uni? Maybe so, but Jungler's just kind of fighting out around of this mid-medic for some control here, and it looks like Lance going to be going down. They might actually catch out Uni here. Some Official Hein going to go in with Afterburn. It's going to be Anime Sabian with the Giphium. Well, goes for the Impale, does miss that, but Uni game very low, has the burn on them as well. Isn't going to get out that one. It's going to be First Blood going up to Elite 8, and kind of an example of what I mean. If Elite 8 is able to play as a team, then they definitely have a fair bit going for them here. Up against Infamous, in no way kind of on I guess back foot in that situation. So yeah, but they have to be careful here as Official Hein actually manages to back out of enemy jungles after taking those 2 back camps, which is very good going up against Ataka. Ataka with generally a bit of a slower player at the start as well, so it's good to see Elite 8 playing well into the early game, not giving away too much so far.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Official Hein on this Glaive yesterday, and Official Hein was on Glaive, and then Han Diego was on that of Celeste. I remember correctly. Let me just yep, Celeste. Yeah. So and Official Hein.
Oh, nice. Official Hein game that one with Afterburn into the bush, just catching out Taka before it goes down. And if you can continue bullying Taka, Taka will have a bit of a slower build up and just not be as much of a problem, because once Taka becomes that real problem is once he's tanky Taka into the late game, but still able to jump in and just cause so much bleed damage. But of course, with the sustain on the side of Elite 8 with Hanyega's found Adagio, it's going to be a better chance for them, and I think the Adagio pickup should be proving well for them.
Yeah, I mean, early game, granted, Adagio is just so strong early game, especially from the poke, the gift of fire that's coming up from Adagio, and especially when you have 2 frontliners, you can just heal one of them and then inflict burn from the entirety of the enemy team. So I understand the pickup, but then they have to snowball quite early into the game, and because we have Official Hein on this Glaive don't really need a lot of items to dish out a lot of damage as well. So they should actually try to be more aggressive, starve the Taka out of his own jungle, and then work as team to be objective based like they always were, and they could probably look and end this before Idris or Taka gets into the later game when they would pose more of a problem.
Yeah, well, you can see now they're pushing SNK out of the jungle there. Getting some good vision down as well, which is going to be very important on the side of Elite 8, just for understanding where the enemy is in terms of map control, and especially locking down that Taka, as you said. Maybe would like to see a bit more aggressive play into the Taka's jungle, as Lyra kind of has to always be up in the lane with Idris for the most part when Hanyega's applying the pressure. But it looks like Taka wants to go in. He almost gets caught out, and they might have seen where the health went, but I'm not sure. Looks like Uni gonna actually be able to escape from that one.
Yeah, Uni was so close to getting caught out. Oh, Handiega is getting really low.
Yeah, you can rarely see the damage trade out there, but it's going to be Spaghetti actually going forwards, and it may be a bit of a bait tactic, but Hanyega's not falling for it completely. Does manage to back out that one soon enough, but you can see SNK just doing such a great job on Lyra here, healing up their team and keeping them alive as Uni going in for the kill. It's going to be Spaghetti to confirm it, and that's going to be a kill traded over in the side of Infamous there, and definitely maybe it's going to be a bit of I said definitely maybe, that makes no sense.
Definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe,
Yes.
It's going to as you said earlier, Adagio will have a bit of a problem going into this late game, especially if that continues to happen, where it's Taka can get to a point where he's tanky enough to turret dive, and then you've got the Lyra there just in case, because even though he got impaled, he didn't die there. And then Spaghetti just going in with the Shroud Step and then able to pick up the easy kill there, because especially once you have the weapon power built up enough, your Shroud Step is now blink, and then you go onto the enemy with a Shimmer Strike onto Mitaka and gets close enough to Hanyegas. I liked that play by Infamous there to get real close onto Hanyegas and just do a lot of burst damage, but now they're looking for either Tario or maybe another kill onto Anime Save Me.
Yeah, I mean, on the team coming out from Infamous, they can actually just go really, really aggressive, because they have ways to get out of tough situation, especially with Idris, the blink from Idris, and Kaku from that of Taka. So, you know, are they gonna? Okay, so
yeah, it looks like they're gonna get right. Bulwark did stop them, but it isn't gonna stop Official Heinz afterwards. Going in with Afterburn, able to pick up Idris, and Impale not quite landing onto SNK. They are gonna turn away from this one. They might look for a turret in exchange right now, as Idris is away from the lane, and this might be their only chance. Taka is up in lane with Kaku at the moment, so they wasn't spot out going in there. But if Elite 8 going to try take this one or do something here, Uni just jumping all over them. Hanyega is gonna use Reverse of Judgment and actually stuns out Taka. It's going to be a Glaive to pick up the kill on that one, and SNK going low. Spaghetti makes it back to the lane here, maybe looking for some kills, as he does have the Shimmer Strike up, and it's going to be, SNK getting baited in by Official Heim. Great work there with Afterburn, followed up by the Impale. There's the Fountain of Renewal, but it's not enough to stay Adagio from the Idris, who's just so built up right now, and it's even going to take out Glaive from the minions, I believe, or was that the Chakram coming back at the very end?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's that
I have to watch. I have to watch the replay for that. I have to watch a replay for that. But that was quite an interesting death on that of Glaive. If it is Chakram coming back, then you know, I'll just say that Spaghetti called it, and it's not accidental.
Of course, it was planned. All a part of the plan. 2 for 1. You're done. And it looks like it's going to come up here on stream right now. Chakram comes back and kills Glaive. Oh my. Spaghetti, you're just too pro for me. You're too pro. I don't know how you do it. But you can see both these teams, and especially Elite 8, able to play to their strengths. They're using that, utilizing that CC to really lock down Mitaka and lock down single targets. And it's really working out for them, but the same could be said for Infamous, as we see them going, Uni going on to Adagio. Adagio gets so low, he's going to survive the bleed, but just barely, and its Fountain is up at the moment, so Hanyegas might be able to stay around, but instead it's going to go back to base, leave up to Anime Save Me and Official to defend this turret. But you see how much damage Uni does just with the Aftershock and Storm Crown going on to Hanyegas. At this point, Hanyegas with no real defense other than the reflex block and the light armor, so maybe into the late game it won't be as much of a problem, but maybe it'll be more of a problem when Taka has more damage. Or do you think Taka's just going to go tankier from this point? As we see him jump in once again, goes X-Retsu into Kaiten, and you can see he almost takes out Hanyegas, but Hanyegas going to turn this one around with a Verse of Judgment, doesn't manage to stun out Uni. Uni gets the kill there with the X-Retsu jumping under, and oh my god, these fights can rarely go either way. And I just think that maybe now we see Adagio falling off a bit, not having kind of a defense to support the damage he needs to output.
I mean, even with defense, if you look at the amount of the items that's on Hanyegas, we have alternating current, followed up by what is that called? Shatter Glass.
Shatter Glass.
Yes, with the Shatter Glass. But yet, the damage is coming up from him. It's just not good enough, not bursty enough to take out. I mean, you don't even need burst damage for Spaghetti and Uni, but it's just that, no, these are the carries on the opposing side. It's just out damaging you in foes, and then you have to applaud Uni for knowing which target and being so target focused. He's just going every single time, just landing all his Retsu on that of Hanyegas, and just, you know, make Hanyegas useless in half the team fights, because he just gets too low. He has to go back.
And that might happen again, as you see Uni kind of lurking around. Official Hein actually going to be here as well. A can make the whole team around. But Bright will work his up, ready to counter Official Hind, but Official Hind goes in, managed to land after burn onto Idris, but Idris going to dive in deep into the team fight with the Shimmer Strike, and he's going to give Taka the kill onto Glaive. Jaeger's also going fairly low, and Infamous going to be able to heal up from this one in just a second when Imperial Sigil's up is used now, but Uni doesn't even need that. He's just going to go right in there, takes out Adagio with ease, and Anime Save Me probably has to back away from this turret, to be honest, because if Spaghetti, Uni, and SNK all jump onto you, I'm not sure what you could do there, but Infamous going to play this one a bit more objectively and head towards the gold mine, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible play from Uni. I mean, if you saw this, Adagio was still trying to lurk around, trying to just kill or buff his teammates, or just inflicting like fire on every single one on the side of Infamous, but then we saw that Uni just made use of whatever energy he has left and just went immediately for Jaeger, and that was what that did it in for Jaeger. And we're looking at the builds right now, okay? So then we have Spaghetti sitting on a Tension Bow, Poison Shift, and a Sorrow Blade, a tier 1 defense, and then we have
going in deep right now, but SNK gonna turn that Arcane passive be Uni the kills, but I think Elite 8 should be able to back out of this one. And as you were talking about builds, I agree on that fact, because you really can't count out Spaghetti, but if you're focusing on Spaghetti, you're not looking at Uni, and Uni's just going to be able to jump in there and find a target as you see him looking for Jaegers right now. They both jump in at the same time. The synergy is there. It's going to be Idris to pick up the kill there. Now moving on to Official Hind, who can't do anything on his own. Anime Save Me just ignoring him at this point, and they don't need to bother with him right now, because the only time that this Lance is in effectiveness is in when it's co-used with the Afterburn coming out from Glaive, and then followed up by some damage off of Jaegers. But Infamous just going through the whole team comp of Elite 8 right now with ease.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really just due to the fact that Jaeger just do not have the damage, or rather, maybe he has the damage, but he do not have the health or the mobility to support the damage that's going to be coming out. And then in late game, he just do not have the utility like that of Lyra per se. So, you know, that's why he's been X'd out in so many games. When I mean X'd out, it's not even banned out, but just not picked at all. And there is a reason why, and it's just because that, you know, with whatever his kit at this point in time just do not have enough damage as a carry, but then his heal is also single targeted and not a team-wide like that of Lyra. So, you know, he's just inferior as compared to the other carries at this point in time.
Yeah, I think in terms of Elite 8 having to play this one and moving into the mid to late game, they're really going to have to focus on just any chance they can get to lock down a single target, because in a full-on team fight, Infamous just at this point are dominating almost at a 10k gold lead as they come up to 35.5k to 29k on the side of Elite 8, so I can definitely see them getting there if they win another team fight and taking up the turrets. We see Spaghetti diving in. They're going to go into the enemy jungle there. Might clear out this Crystal Sentry, because they definitely have the damage and the health to do so. And that's only one life remaining on that one. And if Infamous can take the next one, they're really just going to have full control over this match. And you can see how it's really tipping towards Infamous right now.
Yeah, I mean, a 6k gold lead is nothing to scoff at. And Taka isn't even going really tanky, and yet no one on the side of Elite 8 can burst this Taka down, although this Taka was playing so haphazardly, just going in and then just being so target focused and just wanting to take down Jaeger, and yet Official Hind and that of Lance couldn't do anything at all to save Adagio from his...
Right now, it's actually going to be Uni on the Taka tanking the Kraken alone, and already at half health, at least the Kraken halfway captured, but Uni at full health at this point thanks to the Imperial Sigil by SNK, but hopefully Infamous don't leave them back, lead the team of Elite 8 overhead, and it doesn't look like Lance is going to be able to make it there in time, so Taka just doing work for the team objectively there, and now going to look for a kill onto Hanyegas. He goes into the bush alone, gets stunned out. This might be the chance for Elite 8, but it's going to be official Hein going in a bit too deep. You need to keep that Adagio safe, and it's just a mess. I can't even tell, but it looks like Adagio might be the one to fall. He's looking the lowest, and there's an Impale coming out from Lance, but it's really not going to be enough as Glaive doesn't have the damage on his own, and the heals coming out from SNK just barely keeping the team of Infamous alive there, as they're going to pick up the ace onto this Lance and push him with the Kraken, possibly looking to finish out the game here, as we see Hanyegas only at 15 seconds. Infamous rarely wanting that ace. You can tell right now. Oh, very good Giphian wall, not quite into the base where he gets damaged though. But if Infamous were able to get that, they probably could have finished it out. But in saying that, they're more than likely to, with the Kraken already taking down one of the turrets. Elite 8 only coming up now. It's going to be Hanyegas actually focusing down Uni. Uni getting fairly low. He might get taken out of this situation, but it's just focusing objectives right now. And I think that's really the aim of Infamous as they're going low. It's going to be Taka going down first. No one's taken out Spaghetti, and the Chakra going to come back and take it all. I think in that last push, Infamous kind of going reckless, but more so in the sense of focusing objectives, because they really want to push that one through to the win. They didn't want the game to go over any longer, because I do believe if they gave over a mistake, like someone getting caught out on their own, Elite 8 could have turned that one around. But other than that, Infamous just played that one so strong.
You know, like if you saw just now after they broke the crystal, after they shattered the crystal, we saw Hanyegas just basic attacking that of SNK, and then dealing little to no damage as well. So it's quite proven. You know, with just 2 offensive items, even Lyra being so squishy, there is no way you can do damage to her. So it was really down to that of official Hein. So, you know, and official Hein actually delivered from mid-game, from early game to mid-game, but his damage fell out later into the game as well.
Yeah.